I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. I was with Michael Cohen live when the news was announced that Donald Trump was ordered to show up for his deposition in the $500 million lawsuit that Trump filed against Michael Cohen. Donald Trump's been a coward, as always, trying to duck and dodge the deposition being noticed by Michael Cohen in a $500 million lawsuit, mind you, that Donald Trump filed against Michael Cohen. So first, Donald Trump argued, well, because he's running for the presidency, it couldn't happen until after 2024. Well, that didn't work. Then Donald Trump said it could cause him reputational harm and embarrassment if it takes place. Now, he actually made that argument in federal court in the Southern District of Florida. The court rejected that one. Then Donald Trump went back and argued, well, I need a lawyer to help me potentially invoke my Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. I need a criminal defense lawyer present with my civil lawyer who filed the case against Michael Cohen for $500 million. The court granted a brief extension of time, set the deadline for October 3rd. Well, what happened around October 3rd? Well, we now know that the New York Attorney General Letitia James civil fraud case will start on October 2nd, the day before. Yes, Judge Engoron, the New York State Court judge, already found Donald Trump liable in partial summary judgment, canceling Donald Trump's business licenses and dissolving the Trump Organization and the other Trump-related entities. But now we're in the damages disgorgement phase, and there's some other causes of action as well. So that case starts October 2nd. So then Donald Trump's lawyers argued, well, he can't sit for this deposition being noticed by Michael Cohen. Why? Because of the New York Attorney General's case, and Donald Trump needs to be ready and available. Like, Donald Trump's not showing up to the court before Judge Engoron in the New York Attorney General case. But mind you, that's what the excuse that Donald Trump's lawyers use. So that's what they said. And then so finally, the federal judge in the Michael Cohen case, where Donald Trump sued Michael Cohen for $500 million, was like, enough. If you claim you can't be there during the week, you're going to show up on a Sunday. And Michael Cohen, if you want Donald Trump to be deposed in New York, he has to fly to you. If you want the deposition in Florida, he can do it in Florida. Michael Cohen, you choose the date, you choose the hour rather, you choose the time of day, and you choose the location. So Michael Cohen gets to choose. October 8th will be the date of the deposition. It's a Sunday, so Donald Trump won't be able to whine about, oh, it's because I'm so busy because of my New York Attorney General case where I committed civil fraud. So it'll happen on Sunday, October 8th, and Michael Cohen can decide if he wants it in Florida or if he wants it in New York or I guess any other location. Also, Michael Cohen wants to be there, folks. It's pretty incredible that Cohen wants to show up, be there when this deposition takes place. I want you to hear directly now from Michael Cohen. Play the clip of Cohen finding out. Play the clip.
A lot of people were discussing whether or not that the case was going to be moving forward simply because, obviously Trump is going to file an appeal based upon the determination of Judge Engoron the other day. Well, it's on, and it is happening on Monday right now as we speak, and I do not even have the answer yet. So it will be coming officially from my lawyers. But on Tuesday, October 3rd, Donald Trump is required to sit for a transcribed and a videotaped deposition in the frivolous $500 million lawsuit that he filed against me in the Southern District of Florida, of Miami. Well, one of the issues that arose is now Alejandro Brito makes the claim that as a result of what just transpired and the fact that Trump is going to be on trial on Monday, that they should not have to sit for Tuesday's deposition. Whoa. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked me that question, Ben. Why? Well, because it turns out that Brito believes that Trump may be needed to speak to people during the trial in order to provide them with information, and that he cannot be sidetracked with things like the deposition, the court-ordered deposition in the Donald Trump versus Michael Cohen case. Well, I'm pretty sure that the judge in this specific case, considering it's court-ordered, first court order was adjourned because Todd Blanche, another Trump attorney, was desperately needed to be at this deposition. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked me, Ben. The reason why he needs to be there is because Trump is concerned that some of the questions that my counsel, Danya Perry and Ben Brodsky, might be asking Donald could potentially implicate him in other crimes or other indictment cases that he is currently involved with, and does not want to impede his ability to plead the fifth against self-incrimination. So it's highly unlikely that the judge is going to grant any extensions or any changes. The judge also stated that, and this is prior, that this date is set in stone. It's not like they didn't know that the October 2nd trial of the New York Attorney General's case was moving forward, that too was set in stone. He could have prepared better. He could have brought this up to the judge when September 6th, when Donald elected not to show up for that court-ordered deposition. And again, because Todd Blanche's daughter or someone in the family was having a child and he needed to be there. No problem. We extended the courtesy. He's a good lawyer. He deserves it. However, at this point in time, there is no valid reason to do it. I may actually head down to Florida to be at that deposition. That's another issue that's before the court.
Wow.
I certainly would like to sit in that room opposite the table of Donald while they're doing the deposition. One thing for certain is, number one, I have to get authorization from, believe it or not, from the Bureau of Prisons, from Department of Corrections, still on paper with that shit. But not only do I have to get that, 100% I will, no matter what, whether I go or I don't go, I definitively want to be there via Zoom so that I could ensure that the statements that Donald is making are truthful and accurate. And of course, if they're not, I could immediately text my counsel. Can you imagine that when I ultimately release excerpts of that deposition, whether transcript or videotape, no different than the videotape that we all saw from the E. Jean Carroll case? Could you imagine, there's a, Mr. Trump, can you please explain how you came up with, for example, the $500 million number in terms of damages that you believe that Michael Cohen caused you? What aspect of your economics has been damaged as a result of, we're not even going to the specific topic yet, of what aspect of Michael's statements have caused you the damage?
Well, I'm really popular and I'm a star, and stars can do anything, right? And, you already know what I'm able to do. I can't do that anymore. No. Okay, grabbing women by their private parts is not something that's compensable, right? That's actually something that you end up paying out, not something that, I'm not able to do a lot of things and it's taken away a lot of opportunities, okay? They were huge opportunities, really, really super big. They were great, spectacular opportunities, much bigger even, many people will say, much bigger than even running for the presidency. And that's going to be the type of responses that you're going to get. They're all self-laudatory. They're all stroking your own ego, talking about how wonderful you are and all of the opportunities that people would have come to him with, but for the statements that I made. Now, we're not even going to get into on this show because it would be the entire show, what aspects of the statements that I have made are untruthful. You may not like the statements that are made about you, but as we all know, that the defense to defamation
is veracity. It's the truth. And that's exactly what, especially here on Political Beatdown, on MeidasTouch Network, on Mea Culpa, that's nothing but the truth. All right. And, he's going to have a very, very tough time on this one. Now, that's even been assuming for a second that he even actually shows up. He has a lot to lose by showing up. In fact, I believe he has even more to lose by showing up than simply by ducking it and allowing the court to dismiss it with prejudice in order to save his own ass. That's really what I believe, because once he's sitting down for that, the court has already said that he cannot take the fifth on every single question that's asked. The court's just not going to accept that. And if he wants to invoke the Fifth Amendment, he has to explain to the court the reason why he's invoking the fifth, and the court will make a determination post-deposition whether or not Donald Trump has to come back and answer all of those questions. So we could actually end up with a second bite of the apple on him.
But folks, this will be the first time that Michael Cohen's been in a room with Donald Trump, if he chooses to be in the room, or Cohen could potentially be in Zoom in about 4 years. And we'll see if Donald Trump dismisses the case against Michael Cohen before sitting for deposition. That's my prediction. I predict that Donald Trump's going to dismiss the case, take sanctions that Michael Cohen will seek against Trump. Trump's too cowardly to show up for this deposition is my prediction. But we'll see what happens. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to your support. Check us out. Patreon.com/politicalbeatdown if you want to meet Michael Cohen. Patreon.com/politicalbeatdown. Have a great one.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.